Hey, this is Mike with AskTractorMike.com. I've had a failure on my post hole digger. I hit a rock that didn't move, and luckily that failure was what you want to have happen. I don't know whether you can see here, but I'm turning the PTO shaft and the auger is not moving. So I've sheared a shear pin. And you may not have a post hole digger like this, but I'm going to show you kind of a little step-by-step disassembly process here on taking this U-joint off and getting in there and getting the shear pin out, because a lot of farm implements, almost everything that has a gearbox has some kind of a shear pin or slip clutch assembly to protect us. And I'm really glad this failed, because if this hadn't have failed, this big gearbox that's expensive to replace would have failed, or maybe it would have snapped my PTO shaft off my tractor. So we're going to fix this, and I'm going to lead you step by step through. And maybe if you watch this, even if you don't have a post hole digger like this, if you have another implement, you'll see how you get the shear pin out. We've got a shaft coming out of our gearbox, and then the shear pin would have gone in here. And then there's another little stub bolt up here. Now what I'm going to guess is this is a shaft, and there's going to be a groove right here. And this little bolt right here is in the groove. And the reason that would be there is if you did shear a shear pin and there wasn't anything holding this on, the whole thing could come off, and that would be a real dangerous situation. Hi. First off, I'm going to take that nut off there. And oops, I just dropped what I was going to put on there. I'm going to put a little square-headed nut on there just because that's what I have. And I'm going to use it as a jam nut so I can pull that little threaded piece right there off. Put that down, and then I'm going to put this nut back up here, and I'm going to tighten those really tightly together. So that'll kind of act to take that stub shaft out of there. And there's a bird flying in here. I'm in my barn. All right, now I think I can turn this bottom nut. Oh yeah, it's coming out easier than I thought it would. It's pulling that whole shaft out, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Now this should just pull out, and let's see if I was right about what's inside. Oh, yeah, there we go. You see that little stub shaft, that threaded shaft, was holding that on through that groove there, and that's what kept this whole PTO shaft from coming off when we sheared the shear pin. Okay, now I think I see where our shear pin was, and this may be a booger to get out of there. I think our shear pin, and I'm going to go over on the other side, is right there. That shiny part, see? And I'm going to have to drive that out. And that's probably going to be kind of fun, because I bet it's been in there a while. And there's the other side of it right there. And there we have it. And that looks like something I'll have to get from my local dealer. I could put a bolt back in there, but I don't know that would work. Well, after checking the price of a replacement shear pin designed to go in that hole versus putting just a bolt in there, I decided to go with the replacement. That was like under $4. And so I got one. And then I got a second one to keep in my tractor toolbox, and maybe the next time I break it, shear pin on the post hole digger, which will happen again, I won't be 3 months getting it fixed. So we're going to go back out now and fix it. It's like 30 degrees out there with howling wind, and I really don't want to go out. Okay, putting this back together, I want to put the shear bolt in, the shear pin in, and I've got a little grease on the end of it. And I might just squirt some WD-40 on that so it goes in easy. I'm going to put that in first before I put that stub shaft in. Now that's going to seat. It's kind of hard to explain. There's no head on the shear bolt, but it seats against the inside of this PTO yoke right here. Put the nut on this end, and that tightens the bolt against the inside of the yoke. All right, and that's tight enough. Now, that little stub shaft that came off of there, again, the only function it has, and it goes from the bottom up, is to keep the whole PTO shaft from coming off when the shear pin fails. And to get that tight, the job's done. Hey, I survive on web traffic. I appreciate you watching my videos. I'd be honored if you'd share this video with another tractor enthusiast. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Hey, if you got questions or comments, put them below. I'll try to answer them. Ready to go to the field. Hey, thanks for watching.